Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you for the check-in, Joanna. You did great, and thank you, Kim, for updating me with everything that I need to do to have a productive class.
Mm-hmm. You're
All right.
welcome.
Cool. Awesome, awesome. Good morning, Belinda. Life's gonna be good. You don't have to be that serious. I get it. It's 8:40 in the morning. You got to deal with your neighbors. Thank you, Miss Chloe, for combing your hair once in a while. I appreciate you. You got to look, you got to try it once in a while. Damien got a headache, but life's gonna be good. Don't trip, player. Is that Seattle Mariners hat? Is that? Let me see. Damien, what hat is that? Ah, okay, okay. What's the S stand for?
It's Supreme.
Oh, Supreme. Oh, bougie ass kid. Damn. Every time we go to things, you guys be with the little coach bags and all. All right, cool, cool. All right, let's get it. I appreciate you guys. Good morning. I appreciate you. Right now we have the highest record of turning in homeworks. So I do appreciate you guys. That is money in your books. I do, all the other classes, each class is missing 2 to 3 to 4 individuals, young adults. And as of now, we're like at a 99% ratio. And I do appreciate you guys. That's money in your books as we have people log in and take care of business. Thank you guys for turning in your homework. There's only one person that did it, and it's all right. Players fuck up, but if you ain't a player, if you keep fucking up, so it's all right. Just make sure to take care of business, and we will go from that. Again, I do appreciate you guys coming in like you have a choice, but at least trying to engage and let's, be on this little journey of money together. And then if I could get a reaction of, are any of you guys going to the field trips? If I could get a digital reaction, the hands up, the poop face, the middle finger, whatever works for you. All right, we got one. God damn. Thank you, Miss Chloe. You're awesome. And let's see. So only one. All right. Hopefully there's more of you guys. All right. I'll see how Cruz is always on it. All right, two. That's good. Good to see. Out of Thank you guys for your honesty. So we go from there. Boom, boom. All right, just a couple more, little bit more. And today, like how we're going to talk about, it's going to be a lot about finances. It's going to be a lot about, doing your stuff, but it's going to be a lot of more tedious stuff. So we're going to be focusing on paycheck stubs, and going on from there. So we do not have anyone. All right, Miss Betsy. All right, cool, cool, cool. Let's go. Boom, boom. All right, so we're gonna start with the quick announcements to get this show on the road, so you guys could do what you need to do and head on to the next class.
All right, thank you, Pablo. So, good morning, everyone. Please turn on your cameras so that we could record your participation. And if you're having some tech issues or if you need to be excused for a school activity or something like that, please message Kim because she's the one doing the attendance. Now, if you're an alumni, please add alumni before your name. And if you're a student leader, please add SL before your name. And don't forget to update your Zoom display name to your full name so that we could record your attendance correctly. So that's all. Thank you, Pablo.
All right, let me update my name to my full name. Do you need my social security also so you verify my ID and take my credit? All right, cool. All right, so like always, we're gonna start the class with the emotions wheels. How are you feeling? And then, like I've always said, I respected honesty. I'm not here to hear the good news. I'm here to hear the real news. So I appreciate you guys. Start from the outside and work your way in. So say for now, I could be maybe a little hesitant today. Uh, Not hurt. Let's see. Little tired, had a long a week, but other than that, I'm happy. That would be my honest evaluation of how I feel. So we go from there for you guys. Honest. If you want a little bit of level of privacy, you can send it to me directly and light up the chat little by little with how you truly feel. So let me know how that. Pick the three that work for you, and let's get it booming. Mm, boom, boom. All right, appreciate you, Miss Carrillo. Appreciate you, Miss Torres. It's nice and early. Some of us are sleepy. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Thank you, Miss Eddie. Boom. Miss Ortiz, thank you. Miss Melanie, thank you. Mr. Ortega, thank you. A lot of you guys are tired, getting old already. Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Luna Cornejo, appreciate you. Boom. All right. A lot of you guys are tired. We're just waking up. I get it. It's time to shake and bake and let's get it going. Appreciate you guys. And thank you guys for your guys' honesty. That's what I do respect, because understanding how you truly feel, you could understand how it affects your days, how it affects how you deal with people. When you're a little sad, you're not the best human, because you're focused on a lot of self emotions. And sometimes when we're tired, but we understand that we choose to act how we want to act. And when you're tired, move around. When you're sad, think of the positive moments. When you're happy, shit, stay productive. So I appreciate you guys, and we will start with the presentation now. Once Joanna decides to do her job, we will be going. So, all right. We have people logging in still. Miss Perez forgot her Wi-Fi code, so hopefully she could figure it out. All right. So this is gonna be simple. Which of you guys have a job or have had a job? Raise your hand. I want your physical hand now because a lot of you guys are tired. So we got one, two, the only two productive people in the class. Damien Gutierrez, did you raise your hand also or not? Nope. Miss Abigail Carvaja, appreciate you. That's three people. All right, that's three people that are ahead of the game. Miss Abigail Carvajal, could you unmute yourself, please? All
Hello.
right. So, what do you work right now?
No, I used to.
Okay. And what did you used to do?
I used to work with my mom at her restaurant.
All right, cool. Were you under the table or were you getting official paycheck? Or
Um,
you should not confirm or deny anything.
I
All
was
right.
just
So,
working.
all right, cool, cool. I will not confirm or deny. I appreciate you work. It doesn't matter. But we're gonna go talk about paychecks. So, OCL Cruz, could you unmute yourself?
Yep.
All right. You working right now, Play?
No.
Did you work in the past?
Yeah.
All right. Were you also cash basis? You don't have to confirm or deny, or were you getting a legit paycheck?
We're getting legit paycheck, direct deposit.
All right, you bougie direct deposit. You'd have to go to the liquor store to cash your check. All right, cool. All right, so what were you doing?
I had an internship at Kaiser, the hospital.
Oh shit, good stuff. All right, cool, cool. So maybe you could help us out during the paycheck period. Appreciate you, Josiah. And now Miss Chloe Valencia, the three people who were brave enough to say, I got a job. You guys are so grown up so fast. So Miss
Heck,
Chloe, are you still employed?
no.
All right, cool. Did you work before?
Yes,
And were you getting a paycheck at the job?
I was too getting a paycheck at the job. Yeah.
All right, cool, cool. Work is work. Doesn't matter how you get paid. All right, so what were you doing?
I was also at the internship for Kaiser at a hospital.
Oh, bougie little kid. All right, cool, cool. All right, no, that's good. But the thing is, you guys got to understand. Thank you, Miss Chloe. I appreciate you. So the thing you guys got to understand is, youth championship is an internship. Just because you come here and you have to listen to my bullshit for an hour, like it's an internship. It's a job. A lot of jobs are remote nowadays. I work from the computer 70% of the time. This is a job. So when everyone says, You guys are getting a stipend. You guys are getting $500 a semester. You guys are getting $1,000 a year. So that is a job. So you got to change your train of thought of everyone here has an internship. Like Osel and Chloe said they had an internship with Kaiser. Good. That's really cool. That's good because it gets your feet into the medical things. But Youth Champions is a internship. So understand that you put that. So Abigail also was hustling, and now she has an internship with Youth Champions. All you guys, this is a business program. This is a leadership program. So understand that. All right, so we will continue. Today's going to be a slightly slower class because we're going to break down the actual paycheck, and maybe Miss Valencia or Mr. Osea could give us their personal experiences if time be. So, understanding your paycheck, that's what we're going to break it down into. All right, so we'll go on to the next PowerPoint slide. Like I said, last week we talked about basic investment vehicles. We talked about how to invest, what kind of investments, how to build wealth, in a very basic format. And today's going to be about your paycheck. In a lot of ways, this class is going to be slow, but this is a lot of things that are going to be very relevant to your guys' field trip. The few that decided to go, I encourage you guys to go. It's a free lunch and you get more points. The more points you have, you get the full stipend. Around 50% of the class got less than 500 bucks, and I don't want you to leave money on the table. A lot of you guys say you guys are about your money, you want to hustle, but if you guys don't do the work, it affects you. Right now we're at 90% ratio. There's only one person who didn't turn in his homework, and it's good. It's okay. There's things that we do well and there's things that we could do better. So we'll go on to the next slide. All right, if I could please have Justin Marino, could you please read the first bullet point, please? When you get a chance.
Understand how gross pay, net pay, tax withholdings, and common paychecks deductions shape real take notes home income.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Flip. All right, and if I could get Miss Luna Cornejo, could you read the second bullet point, please?
Interpret key tax forms, including the W-4 and W-2, to make informed decisions that prevent unexpected refunds or tax bills.
All right, appreciate you, Miss Cornejo. And could I get Miss Desiree Torres? Could you please read the third bullet point, please?
Apply this knowledge to manage personal finances more confidently by reviewing pay stubs, adjusting withholdings, and preparing for tax filing.
All right, appreciate you. All right, so a lot of things we're going to be talking about the paycheck, and a lot that has to do with making money. When you're a salaried employee, you're going to be very important for you to understand the W-4, which is, we're going to get into it, a lot of like who you are, your social security, who dependents, and the W-2. The W-2 is sent to you at the end of the year. That's a recap of everything you've done, all the money you've made, all the money that was split apart that you allowed them to deduct. So we jump to the next slide. All right, right here is a breakdown of a basic pay stub. When you get a check or you get a direct deposit, you should get an email or you should get this sent in the mail. You have the option to look at your paycheck. You have the option to see it. You have the option to work with it. Now, when we talk about gross pay, which is this part right here, gross pay, this right here is everything you make. So in this example, this individual made $15 an hour and he made 600 bucks for 40 hours. So in that aspect, it's like that's how much you made. But your paycheck will shrink every time because we pay taxes. We all pay federal taxes. This right here is a percentage. We all pay Medicare or Medi-Cal. This right here is also a percentage. FICA is an insurance, Federal Insurance Co. So we all pay that. That would be for like disabilities and unemployment insurance. We all pay that here in California. Then we pay on top of that a state tax. California's a state that taxes. Not all states tax, but California does. I have buddies who live in California, but they're residents in Oregon, in Nevada, in Montana to avoid income tax. So that's 10% tax. And then there's California, another insurance, disability insurance with California alone, which charges you again. So these are the things right here. For this example, gross income is how much you make at all. Everything, every dollar. And then every check you will get taxed. You know, and then you end up with your net. Net right here is something we're going to focus on. And even right here, net pay is your real spending money. That's how much you get. That's how much you get on a check. So once you get that on a check, you make $600, but you put in your pocket $503.16. This is the easy breakdown. Every check you get when you're an employee, a W-2 employee, a W-4 employee, you will get a charge. Obviously, if you work unofficially, you get cash credit and it's good, but you will get charged for it. You will get charged for the money that you make. You will get charged for everything. That's normal. Taxes that we've learned in other classes is to pay for streets, for schools, for books, for insurances, for colleges, for police stations, for firemen. So it's part of our social, or how they say, civic duty, if you want to get bougie. But we will see, and let's see if we have a little video to reiterate. So we're going to watch a quick video. It's called the Crash Course, Reading Your Pay Stub, because this is a pay stub. This is how we're going to read this for the rest of our lives if we're working as an employee. And if you're a business owner, you got to do all this for all your employees. If you're a financier dude, there's different ways to do it, but we're all got to understand our pay stub at the very minimum so we know where we are. But here we go.
Hey, what's wrong?
Just received my first paycheck.
That's awesome. It always feels good to see money in your bank account on payday after all that hard work.
Yeah, but it looks like some of my money is missing.
Well, as anyone who has ever had a job knows, you don't get to keep all the money that you earned.
What?
It's kind of annoying, I know. And if you want to understand where all that money went, you'll need to take a closer look at your pay stub. When it's payday, your employer will probably pay you with a paper check or through a direct deposit, which is money paid directly into your bank account. Whichever method is used, they will also provide you with a pay stub that breaks down how much money you earned, but also how much money has been deducted. Here are a few things to look for on your pay stub. The pay period tells you the time period you're being paid for. Usually, pay periods cover 2 weeks, half the month, or a whole month of work. Make sure you know how long your pay period is, so that you know when to expect each paycheck. Your gross pay tells you the total amount you've earned according to your salary during that pay period. For example, if you worked 40 hours at $15 per hour, your gross pay will be $600.
You know what I think? I think it's gross that I don't get to keep all my pay.
Ugh, right. And that part you keep is called your net pay. This is the money you actually end up taking home. Net pay is your gross pay minus your deductions, which is money that's removed. Deductions can vary by company and by employee, but they break down into 3 general categories. First, taxes. These are paid to the federal government, and depending on where you live, you'll most likely also pay some to your state and local government. For the federal government, you'll pay an income tax, plus a Social Security tax and a Medicare tax, both of which are federal insurance contributions taxes and go to pay for specific government programs. The amount you pay for income taxes usually depends on your income. Generally speaking, the more money counted as income, the more taxes you'll pay. Taxes also vary depending on where you live. Some states charge a heavy state income tax. Some have lighter taxes, and some have none. taxes can range anywhere from 7% in Cody, Wyoming, all the way to over half of your income in New York City. Second, retirement.
Retirement? But that's like 100 years away.
Well, just remember, the sooner you start saving for retirement, the more money you'll have when you get there. Some employers offer accounts, such as a 401k, where you can set aside a certain amount of your salary per pay period to save for your retirement. Plus, contributions to certain accounts are pre-tax, which will lower your taxable income. The more you know all about your deductions and take responsibility for them, the better choices you can make about your financial future and even how you might vote someday. And that will help you make the most out of every hour you work. Watch
All right.
more at PragerU
That just-
Kids.
That just helped break down the basics of a pay stub, the very bare minimum that you're going to deal with every day, every time you get paid. And we've talked about budgeting and stuff like that, so we want to keep everything congruent and everything working in a more productive manner. But we'll go on to the next slide, which most likely will be a question. So, what surprises you most about the difference between gross pay and net pay? So what threw you off? What surprised you? What were you aware of? What were you that just was new to you? So the question is, what surprises you most about the difference between gross pay and net pay? So put that in the chat to get this ball rolling. So I'll give you a minute or two to type it in. And remember, there is no right or wrong answer. Everything is important and everything is good. All right. We got the amount of difference. All right. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. All right. Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Thank you, Ms. Perez. Thank you, Ms. Juliet. Mr. Mendoza, appreciate you. Cornejo. Thank you, Roman. Miss Carrillo, appreciate you. Miss Torres. Yep, California's a higher tax state. So California will take out little things little by little to get you out of your, there's just California has a lot, so you're gonna see a lot of other stuff that we're not covering, but when you do get it, you will see. All right, thank you, Miss Ortiz. All right, cool. And a lot of you guys just seeing how the deductions are. And the more money you make, the more they tax. So if you make under 20, 10, 11,000, you get taxed very minimal. Once you start making over 11,000, you get taxed, it goes up, say 20%. Once you get more than 40,000, you get like 25%. Once you make over, I think 75,000 in bracket, you get 30%. So it keeps going up. It keeps incrementing. It keeps processing a little bit more, a little bit more, a little more as you go. So you'll see that multiple deductions used, it's going to be like that. As you're an employee, it's going to be like that. Here, it is what it is. You get a paycheck, you sign for a W-2, W-4, you have to pay taxes. But like some of you guys that had little internships in the summer and stuff like that, if you make less than a certain amount, it's tax-free. So theoretically, you could go online, file your taxes, and get whatever money they took out. It doesn't matter at what age. But in April 15th is tax deadline. So that'll be a famous date that you will get used to. April 15th is tax deadline. So as we go, we'll continue on to the next slide. All right, as we're talking about W-4. W-4 in formal writing is in a form that you fill out. Once you get hired for a job, you fill out a W-4, and this helps determine how much they're going to hold and tax you. So a W-4 is a form employees fill out to determine federal tax withholdings. It always starts with your personal information. They want to know who you are. So whatever your name you got on your California ID, your birth certificate, you put that, and then you put your social security number. And then the address you live in. Because everywhere you work, they want to ensure that they're taxing the right person. And your social security is very important. And then as you see, single or married, that's if you're single, if you're married, you go under a different tax bracket. If you're married and filing jointly, you go under a different tax bracket. Or you're a qualified surviving spouse. That says if you're married for 20, 30 years and one of your partners happens to decease, either way, you get different tax bracket. And then you also got dependents. And then head of household, you'd be you. If you're in a family of four, say your dad, your mom, and you, two kids, you would be the head of household if you're the only check that makes it or the main breadwinner. And you pick dependents. Dependents is anybody who depends on you. So it could be children, obviously, like most of you guys right now are dependents. Your mom, your dad, whoever's your legal guardian puts you as a dependent because he gets a tax discount on that. It also could be grandma or someone who's disabled, someone that you're taking care of, that you're feeding, you're housing, you're doing 95% of the maintenance of that human being. So the form does is the filing status. That's you have to put it. Are you single? Do you have to put that? Dependents and extra withholding. You put extra withholding if you think you have a tax burden coming up from other resources. So you say withhold more. You could update it anytime. But like it says right here, you start by putting your personal information, and then step 2 would be they're saying is only fill out if you have multiple jobs or are married filing jointly with a spouse who also works. Like me, I have multiple jobs. I have side businesses and contracts that some pay me 1099, which is a contractor, some pay me as an employee if they're long-term contracts. So I fill out step 2. So step 2 is also, multiple jobs or spouse works, because then I tell the job that pays taxes to withhold more taxes because I know I have to pay taxes on my cash jobs or my direct deposit where they just don't take anything. So these are things that you're going to have to start considering. These are things that you're going to deal with for the rest of your time, as long as you're an employed W-2, W-4 employee, you will be subject to some form of taxes. You will be subject to this. This is nothing new, nothing old. It is what it is. You got to understand it so you could understand how to save money and not make sure that not that you avoid taxes, but you minimize your tax burden. That's your goal. Taxes are important, but they will take out more taxes and they will keep your taxes if you don't protect and if you don't look out for yourself. It's not about avoiding taxes. It's about paying your due and no more. So as you see, we will go on to the next slide, but let me see also. All right. Your W-4 determines, this is still going, W-4 determines how much tax is withheld from each paycheck. Like I told you earlier, step 3 is you could file dependents. Dependents is children, adults, seniors, or anyone that you're taking care of. So the dependents will be anyone that you're taking care of. Children and elderly are usually the most one. And then other adjustments, it would be additional section. This is where I always do is deductions. If you're expecting to claim deductions other than your standard deduction, want to reduce your withholding, I do this even if I don't have to, because I always want to minimize my tax burden from other paychecks or from other contracts that they pay me directly to me. So this is the bare minimum of that. So you want to see, and this is another one, income that's not from jobs. That's your side businesses, that's your contract, that's everything withheld. So this is the bare minimum, and then we'll go to the next step. But we will watch a quick video before this, and this will be a quick crash course. Know your tax forms W-2 and W-4, because these are things that I would encourage you to learn now. But remember, this is the very, very basics. You're going to live life. You're going to experience life in your way. And it's really important to understand that.
So you got your first job. Good for you. But thanks to the 16th Amendment to the Constitution of 1913, with that job comes income taxes. And with taxes come forms and more forms. Boring, I know, but understanding these forms can make a huge difference in your financial journey. The first two you need to learn about are the W-4 and W-2 forms. A lot of boxes and a lot of words, but honestly, they're not that complicated. So stick with me as we walk through it on this episode of... At the beginning of every job, you'll need to complete a W-4 form, also called an Employee's Withholding Certificate. Your employer uses this information to withhold federal income tax from your paycheck and pay the government. Step 1 is easy. Fill out your personal information. Be sure your name matches the way it's written on your Social Security card. Next, select how your taxes will be filed. If you're still living at home, not married, or not the head of the household, select single or married filing separately.
I am so single.
Step 2 of the form applies to someone who has multiple jobs or has a working spouse. If that's not you yet, then you can skip it. Eventually, when it does apply to you, there are withholding estimator calculators online that can help you walk through the process. Step 3 applies to someone who has dependents, like a child or elderly parent they care for, or has other credits. Including these on your W-4 form decreases the amount of income tax withheld from your paycheck each pay period. If you don't have dependents or other credits, then you can skip this step too.
Did I mention that I'm single?
Yes, you did. Step 4 is also optional. It's for people who expect to owe money to the IRS at the end of the year. If that's not you, then you know the drill. Skip it. After that, sign your John Hancock and date it in Step 5. And just like that, you're done with your W-4. After that, you'll receive a W-2, also called a wage and tax statement, from your employer no later than January 31st of each year. This form reports your earnings to the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, and you. You'll use this to prepare your income tax return for that year. Lucky for you, since you're just starting out, you don't need to know about every box. Let's just focus on what you need to know now. Box A through F are simple. They mainly just show name and address information about you and your employer. Box 1 is your taxable income from wages, salaries, tips, bonuses, and any other taxable compensation. This amount can be less than what you actually make if you contribute to things like a retirement plan or health savings account. But if you don't make those contributions, then Box 1 is the total amount you made during the previous year from that employer.
Wow, I made a lot of money last year.
Oh, nice. However, Box 2 is the total amount of federal income tax already withheld from your paychecks by your employer and paid to the government on your behalf throughout the year. This amount can change depending on your W-4. More on that later. Box 3 shows your earnings that are subject to Social Security tax. What Social Security, you may ask? That's another episode. But for now, unless you're making over $160,000 a year from this job, then all of your earnings are probably subject to Social Security tax. And this box will match Box 1. Box 4 is the total amount of Social Security taxes that were already withheld throughout the year. This should be 6.2% of the amount in Box 3.
Oh, come on.
Box 5 shows the earnings that are subject to Medicare tax, and Box 6 is the amount of Medicare taxes withheld throughout the year. This should be 1.45% of the amount in Box 5. On top of federal income taxes, some states also require state income tax, like California and New York. If your state is one of them, you'll see it listed in Box 15.
Looks like my state is one of them. Great.
Ugh, that is rough. In that case, Box 16 will show you the earnings subject to state taxes, and Box 17 will show the state taxes already withheld throughout the year. Now all you have to do come tax season is use that information from your W-2 to file an income tax return and see if you've already paid too much, or if you still owe something to Uncle Sam. Getting a huge tax refund may seem like a reward, but it actually means you overpaid your taxes.
Huh?
You're getting back your own money after lending it to the government interest-free.
Oh.
A good goal would be to have enough money already withheld from your paycheck to cover the taxes you owe, but not so much that you get a large refund at the end of the year. If you find yourself getting too big of a refund or owing too much, revisit your W-4 and adjust your withholdings. You'll also need to do this as you get older, gain dependents, and start things like retirement accounts. Not too bad, right? The more you know about taxes and the forms that go along with them, the better you'll be at staying out of trouble with the IRS and on top of your money. Till next time. Watch more at...
All right, that broke it down. Every simple box, and it also went into what we're going to be going into the W-2 also. So once we get the slides up by Miss Joanna, we will go on to this. What life changes might you update your W-4 in the future? Put that in the chat. What life changes might make you update your W-4 in the future? Simple couple answers, so put that in the chat. And we'll give you 2 minutes, and we'll see if the music works. Our DJs got laid off, so Joanna has to figure it out. All right. Cool. All right. Boom. Awesome. All right, we got it. All right, Miss Janelle Carrillo, could you please unmute yourself?
Yeah.
All right, so what changes could you do?
Your marriage status, retirement, and I think claiming a dependent.
All right, cool. All right, so if you get married, when should you report it?
I'm not sure.
Guess. There's no wrong answer here. This is you're solving my life story. I'm not married yet, so
When
if
you
I
have
get married,
a certificate.
yeah, perfect answer. Once you got that marriage certificate, boom, report it. Good job. If I could have Cristiano Ronaldo Gonzalez. So if you got kids, when should you claim it?
You would claim them as dependents, and you would claim them as soon as they're born, no?
But what do you need to verify their birth?
Their social security
And
and their birth certificate.
bam. So once you got those 2 things, boom, report them. Why pay more? And you get a nice refund, additional refund once you have kids. Perfectly said. All right, perfect. Boom, married seven, better divorce. Oh, someone did mention that. Yeah, if you're divorced also, once you get that divorce certificate, let them know. Disconnect everything because you just want to start your life fresh economically and tax-wise. It's a big a burden that we gotta go through. It's all right. Cool, cool. Thank you, Miss Morosco, Miss Abigail, Miss Janelle. All right, Alexander Yanis, appreciate you guys. All right, so we will go on to the next slide. All right, the other video walked us into the W-2. This right here is going to be a summary of everything. I wish I had one on me, but this one provides a good example. Like he said, this is a summary of all year. Whatever you made all year, this is your summary. This is how you understand how you're making, how you're withholding. Like I said right here, yearly taxable wages all year and what was withheld all year for Social Security, Medi-Cal, insurances. This one right now is only, oh, it's California, so it kind of includes it. But like it says, right here, box one is really understanding it. Wages. Wages and tips. That's everything you've made all year long. And then right next to it in box two is everything they took out. In this example is 23,500 and they took out the 1,500. And also we have Social Security, which is a safety net. They also, same thing, it's the 23,500 and they took out similar amount, 1,400 for the Social Security insurance. That includes unemployment, that includes pensions for when you're older, that's all included. So the next one, we all pay this too. Medi-Cal and tips, same thing. It's based off the total amount, wage box 6, and it's a little slightly less, but that's how much yearly you give. So the 150 million people that are give a certain amount on how much they make. So that's when you break it apart, that's how much we're always going to be. And it's important to understand how it says right here, boop, 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 boop. Understand your gross pay. You know that's the total amount of money you've made, your gross pay. The net pay is after all the deductions, federal tax, Social Security, Medi-Cals, state tax, state disability insurance. California has multiple ones. And so we pay that. And it's important to understand when you get a job, you're going to fill out a W-4. And that's important to understand. But like how I said, when you're single, your first job, you don't have dependents, pretty straightforward. You put your name, your social security, where you live. You don't have deductibles, you're not married, you don't have additional, so you just kind of scroll down and just sign or put not applicable. W-2, you're going to get. I'm not sure. I would assume if Miss Valencia or Miss Oseo did the internships this summer, they should be mailed a summary of their earnings and to see how much you made and how much was documented by the federal government and the state government, and then how much you give out to the government for all other things. But like I said, key to box 2 is what we talked about. Box 1, federal taxes. That's how we know how much we're paying in total and how much we're paying the government. The box 2, like we went through, is also how much they're holding. Box 3 is the Social Security, and any other boxes, you just want to verify that how much you're making and know exactly how much they're withholding. Because once you know how much they're withholding, you could do it properly. And I think this is a good example here where they have tax software makes it simple. When you have simple taxes, you don't have to do much. You could put in the free softwares and do it. I don't have that luxury because not only am I do contracts, this, and have my own business, I have to do a lot more. I have to do taxes every 3 months. I have to do, and I hire someone because taxes are a motherfucker. And I don't want to do that. But if you're just employed, these are things you could do by yourself because you're going to get it. Say if you have one good job, that's all you do. You get a W-2. You report the W-2, you put in all the information into a free software and it files the taxes for you, and 90% of the time you get a refund. If you're just traditional, and if you're withholding more for whatever reason, you get a larger refund. But at the same time, it's like we got to make sure that we don't pay more than we need. So that's why. So this will kind of break that down into it. But this will lead us to the next slide. And it should be a question. Before you answer this, we're gonna watch which one? There's two. Understanding your paychecks. Let me see. We're gonna watch the first Understanding Your Paycheck 1. It's a short little video.
Paychecks can be pretty confusing at a glance. What do all of those figures and statements mean exactly? No need to panic. Let's take a look at a typical paycheck and break down its different parts. Your paycheck is divided into two components, the check itself and the pay stub. The pay stub contains the bulk of your payment information, so we'll be focusing on that. Here you'll find both the pay date and the pay period. The pay date is the day you're actually being paid, while the pay period is the date range the paycheck is covering. Typically, the pay period will be anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks before the pay date itself. Two notable figures are your earnings, or gross pay, and your net pay for that pay period. Your gross pay is the total amount of money you made. However, after deductions, you're left with your net pay. This is the amount of money that's actually available to you on your paycheck. The difference between these two figures may initially be surprising. It's important to plan for it, especially when budgeting or doing any kind of financial planning. You'll also find tax deductions, including federal income tax, possibly state income tax depending on where you live, as well as taxes for Medicare and Social Security. If your employer offers certain benefits like health insurance, disability, or retirement, there will be deductions for these as well. If you see something different or confusing on your pay stub, we recommend asking your employer for clarification.
All right, so we're gonna break it down. And before we answer this question, we're gonna watch the second one. I'm just reiterating, it's very simple stuff, and it's gonna be the same title. It'll be understanding your paycheck too, but it's gonna break down the deductions a little bit more.
It's the question that's on everyone's mind. If the number 2 pencil is the most popular, why is it still number 2? That is a good question, but it's a little off topic. I think a more relevant question is, where did all my paycheck money go? Well, portions of your paycheck are deducted every pay period. They are listed here as withholdings because they are withheld from your paycheck. Your gross earnings are what you started out with before the deductions, but that amount decreases as the deductions are taken out. Federal income tax is automatically deducted, and many states also take out income tax. So we subtract $53.90 and $19.60. Then there are also withholdings for FICA, the Federal Insurance Contributions Act. This tax is taken out to pay older Americans their Social Security retirement benefits and Medicare or hospital insurance benefits. It's a mandatory payroll deduction, so we subtract $7.11 and $20.58. Some of these paycheck withholdings will end up benefiting you when you retire, and some ensure that federal, state, and local governments function so you can have roads, parks, police, and schools. Your net pay is what you're left with after the deductions. You started out with $490 gross pay, but ended up with only $388.81 net pay. This means you probably don't have to worry about making minor purchases like a number 2 pencil now and then. But before you go out and buy something really expensive, make sure it's in your budget and that you can pay for it with your net pay.
All right, I'm just reiterating shit to you now, but I just want to understand the very basics of the class. This class is about paychecks. Understand the basics that you set yourself up. And right now, this is no right or wrong answer. Would you rather pay more throughout the year and receive a refund, or pay less throughout the year and pay more, and why? So pretty much, would you want to pay more taxes and get a bigger refund, or would you want to pay a little bit less but and get paid a little bit more every check? What's your opinion on that? So that's the question. Would you rather pay more throughout the year and receive a refund, or pay less throughout the year and pay more? So what's the answer? And some of you guys are quick on the draw, and let me know. We'll give you a minute or two to fill that out. All right, a couple more of you guys. Thank you, Miss Berta. All right. So Miss Julia Perez, unmute yourself. All right. So what was your opinion?
I said pay more throughout the year and get a bigger refund.
And why? Remember, there's no right or wrong answer. This is now just personal preference.
I was thinking like with the money I got back, I could save it or something.
Yeah, so that's not a bad idea. The government will hold your money interest free, but yeah, it's good. All right, thank you, Miss Perez. Mr. Andres Rosales, what's your opinion?
Mm. Kind of the same idea as Juliet, just like saving it at the end.
All right, cool. Just put it on the side. All right, cool. Mr. Ryan Ortega, what's your opinion?
I don't know.
That's a good answer, but if you had to make a choice right now, what would be your choice?
I think I would pay more throughout the year and receive a refund.
All right, cool. And what would you do with that refund?
I would save it up.
All right, cool. Appreciate you, Mr. Ortega. And let's see, everyone's would rather pay the government more. That's interesting. The last class was half. Everyone said, fuck it. I'm gonna put my money and get it when I get it. All right, cool. All right, appreciate you guys. And thank you guys for those who did participate. And we're gonna go to the next slide, and it's giving you a minute or two to finish your workbook. Well, and what we talked about. Next class, we'll deal with it. Next class, we're going to talk about things outside of fantasy, adaptability, which is huge, and contingency planning. If something doesn't work out, what are you going to do to fix it? And the next slide will give you 2 minutes to turn in your workbook. Right now, we're at 99%. There's only one individual in this class that didn't turn in, and it's okay. Not perfect, but let's get it going. I want you guys to get paid. I will advocate for you guys always, but you got to do the work. So 2 minutes, and hopefully the DJ puts on some music, and then we'll be back. All right, cool. I appreciate you guys. We will go to the next slide, but I encourage you. I'm gonna try to make it out this weekend for the Junior Achievement Finance Park. Try to figure that out. But whoever didn't sign up, I highly encourage you. They're doing it on the 14th, and you could sign up today and tomorrow. Take advantage of it, get the permission slip signed, and do it. It's add points. And it's important that you go to at least a couple field trips till you get the max amount of points, and that allows you to get the max amount of money. And it's a free lunch, and the Junior Achievement Finance Park's actually pretty cool because it puts you real life simulation. Ignite series, if you guys did go, that's easy money. Turn in the survey, so it's proof that you went. Student leader form, if any of you guys are interested in becoming a student leader form, shoot your shot. If you want to put a little SL by your name, cool. You want to, be held slightly more responsible, cool. And let's see, Free Mustang Immersive. This is cool museum in Los Angeles, regarding the Ford Mustang. I'm a car fanatic, so I've signed up. It's free. So when I'm in LA, because I come from San Diego, and then there is no alumni, so it doesn't matter the first generation career. And Joanna, if I'm missing anything, please let me know.
All right. Thank you, Pablo, for that. So just to add things to what Pablo said earlier, if you are part of the college match program, please do fill up the quick form that we have in the chat box. If you don't know about this, probably you're not in this program, so you don't have to worry about it. And then additional information about the free Mustang immersive experience. Now, there is a sign up form in the comments, in the chat box, where you will sign up for you to receive your coupon code in getting the free ticket when you check it out on their website. So each sign up form gives you one unique coupon code. So if you're bringing three of your friends or family members, you have to do it 3 times so that you could get 3 free tickets for them as well. So once you got your your coupon code, go to their website and go check out the ticket. Use the coupon code so that it will be free for you. So that's all for me, and thank you everyone for attending today's class. I hope you had a wonderful day today. Thank you everyone. Bye.
All right, if you have any questions, stay behind. If not, enjoy your day.